It's really hard to ignore all the hype, all the buzz around cannabis these days.
Oh, yeah.
What started as like a little murmur is now a full-blown, like,
It's a roar.
it's a roar, a green rush.
Eventually.
Entrepreneurs are seeing like crazy opportunities everywhere.
Yeah.
It's almost like, a whole brand new world in business.
It is. It's undeniable how dynamic this is.
Yeah.
But as exciting as it all seems from the outside looking in, there's
Right.
a real and a pretty complex obstacle for these businesses, and that is financing.
Oh, for sure.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You have this fundamental clash, right, between legalization at the state level
Yeah.
and this federal prohibition.
Right.
And it creates this truly unique and often very frustrating landscape. I mean,
Like trying to build a house on like shifting sand.
exactly, yeah, like constantly shifting ground rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And it's this like fascinating tension that we're really going to dive deep into today.
We've got the ultimate guide to small business cannabis business financing. And this is like our core resource for this.
Perfect.
And honestly, it really is like a roadmap to navigating this whole financial wilderness.
Oh, yeah, it's dense. There's a lot to it.
Right. We're talking about everything from like walking this legal tightrope, which it really is,
Oh, it is.
to figuring out like where do you even find funding?
Right.
And like the very specific, sometimes surprising challenges that just like pop up in this industry.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to pull out the crucial knowledge and insights right from this guide.
Absolutely.
Think of it as your shortcut to understanding the financial like maze of the cannabis world without getting like completely lost and overwhelmed.
Right. And we want to give everyone a clear, actionable picture
Yeah,
of what really matters if you're involved in or even thinking about getting into this space.
absolutely. Yeah. So to keep everything organized and like digestible,
Yeah.
we're going to break this deep dive into 3 key sections, all from the structure of the guide.
Perfect.
So first, we'll look at that unique financing landscape of the cannabis industry,
Right.
the legal and historical context. That like really separates it from every other industry out there.
Sets it apart. Yeah.
Then we'll navigate the often huge limitations of like the traditional financing roads.
Right.
And finally, we'll explore those alternative avenues that cannabis businesses are increasingly and often like really ingeniously turning to.
Yeah. That's the exciting part.
So ready to get started and unpack this whole thing?
Absolutely. Let's dive into that unique landscape.
Okay, so let's unpack this unique landscape that the guide lays out.
Okay.
It kicks off by giving us this kind of historical overview.
Okay.
And it's like, it's pretty amazing how quickly yet like unevenly things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
It mentions that California, really lit the fuse way back in 1996
Right.
with medical marijuana, which feels like a lifetime ago given how fast this industry is changing.
It does. It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. And that single event really was like the starting pistol. It was the starting gun, like the guide implies, for this like wave of legalization that's just cascaded across the states.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. As of 2023, 37 states
Wow.
have legalized medical marijuana,
Yeah.
and 21 have even approved recreational use.
For adults.
Yeah, for adults, which is huge.
That's a massive shift. And like you said, pretty recent.
Very recent, yeah.
And it's not just the legal side. The market is just like
Exploding.
it's exploding.
Yeah,
The projections in this guide are mind-blowing.
yeah.
It says the U.S. cannabis market is expected to hit $33.6 billion by 2025.
It's huge.
And, get this, potentially $100 billion annually by 2030.
Wow.
Which, I mean, that kind of projected growth obviously attracts a lot of attention.
Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs.
Right, and hopefully investment.
Yeah, yeah.
So, one thing that the guide highlights that's super interesting is how people consume cannabis.
Yeah.
It's definitely not just the old school smoking anymore.
Right.
You've got this huge rise of CBD-infused products.
Yeah. Yeah, edibles.
Edibles,
Like kinds of things.
Wellness items.
Yeah,
It really shows how the appeal has broadened.
to a much wider consumer base.
For sure. A lot more diverse.
Absolutely.
And public opinion is just like flipped
Throwing.
completely 180.
Yeah.
The guide illustrates this with a 2022 Gallup poll showing a strong 68% support for legalization.
Strong majority.
Yeah. Compare that to a measly 12% back in 1969.
It's night and day.
It's night and day.
Huge shift.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of shift in public sentiment, it's got to have some impact, right?
It has to, eventually.
Yeah.
It's a tailwind for the industry.
Right.
But as the guide also emphasizes, federal prohibition still casts a long shadow.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when you talk about banking.
Right.
And, what we're talking about, financing.
Yeah.
Push and pull.
Push and pull, yeah.